Hi guys, today I'm coming to you from my cabin here on Costa Diadema, and I can't wait to show you what a day at sea looks like if you're considering a cruise, or maybe you're just curious about what a cruise is like with Costa. Now, this is a brand new ship for me, it's a brand new cruise line for me, so everything that's happening on here I am so intrigued by, because some things are really similar to what I've seen before, while others are completely different. So later in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about the white party that took place last night, because that, honestly, I have never seen anything like that on a cruise ship before. It was mad, but we'll not go into that right now. Now, if you haven't found my channel before, then I'm Fraser, and I'm going to be spending the rest of this year essentially primarily living on cruise ships. So I am going to be ship hopping from one to the other from now all the way up until the middle of December, which is very exciting. Now, what that means is that I'll hopefully get to see a huge number of cruise ships and hopefully get to see a good amount of the world as I go around doing that as well, which, yeah, very excited about everything that this year's got in store. Now, anyway, back to today. Geographically, where are we? So we are currently just off the coast of Africa. 2 days ago, we were in Valencia, we're on the way to Lanzarote, so yeah, just currently cruising off the coast of Africa. It is hot. So this week, I'm currently cruising during a European heatwave, which is, believe me, always welcome, because I have done my fair share of cold weather cruising over the last year or so, so delighted to wake up to heat again. Now, yesterday when I woke up on sea day number 1, it was beautifully calm, and waking up this morning, it is even more calm. I've been so lucky with the weather yesterday and today, because where we are, it's pretty exposed ocean-wise, so I was a little bit nervous that the weather might have been quite rough, but no, this has been an absolute, it's been like cruise perfection, I would say. Now, I will take you out and show you the view from the balcony just in a little second, but just what we'll do now is we're going to head up and grab some breakfast. So, breakfast on a Costa ship, you've got a couple of different options. So you can either go down to the main dining room, where it functions as a buffet style setup down there, or you can go up to the actual buffet up on deck 10 of this ship. Now, time-wise, it actually runs pretty late. I'm really happy with it. So if you want to go for breakfast at the restaurant, you can go in there from 7:30 till 9:30. The buffet is open from 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. on a day at sea. I think it's slightly different on a port day, but on a sea day, 7 till 11. So no excuse to miss breakfast on these ships. What we'll do after breakfast is I'll bring you back down and talk you through the plan for today, because we've got some relatively different things to do today compared to what I would have showed you on previous cruise lines. But first, let me take you outside and show you the absolutely beautiful weather conditions that we're dealing with today. Yeah, let's head out. Okay, breakfast done, so now back in the room, ready to think about what are we actually doing today. So just on breakfast though, the quality and the quantity of food on here, I am actually really impressed with. I wasn't too sure from a price point of view what to expect from the food generally, but let's just focus on breakfast right now. The food generally on a Costa cruise. And do you know what? This is better than what I've seen with some other cruise lines that will remain unnamed and unshamed for now. But I have been really impressed. The food on here, speaking more generally now, is genuinely some of the tastiest food that I've ever eaten. I don't know what they're doing, but it is so, so tasty. So yeah, anyway, breakfast, good. So I ended up just getting like a couple of kind of cooked breakfast items, a couple of pastries that I cannot ever say no to, and a coffee. So just sat and watched the world go by, which was lovely. Now, thinking about today, so I have showed you this a couple of times, but this is essentially the daily schedule that you get on a Costa ship. So it's called the Oggi a Bordo, and below that it says your compass on the ship, but I think Oggi a Bordo means what's happening on board. I think, but I'm not overly fluent in Italian, aka not at all, which again we'll come back to. But inside this document, when you open it up, you've got a full page here that looks at all the venues, all the opening times, what's available, what's not available, when and where, all the way through the day. You then open it all the way up, and I'll hold it all the way out here so that you can kind of see the scale of it, but this is all of the activities that are happening during the day. Now, so many people say to me, Fraser, do you not get fed up on a day at sea? Like, what do you actually do? Well, in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to answer, because sea days are genuinely some of my favourite days on a cruise, because you can have the most chilled out, relaxed day on your balcony, in your cabin, whatever, if you want to, or you can do what I do, which is have a bit of chill time, and then just generally buzz around the ship and see what everyone's getting up to and see what's on here. It's a really good opportunity as well to try some new things that you wouldn't normally try. Now, what I'll do, I'll put an overlay now of the daily schedule on the screen so that you can have a little bit more of a detailed look at it. But the events start this morning at 8:30 with various things in the gym. So you've got like a stretch class, there's a morning walk, there's yoga, there's sun salutation. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It sounds yoga-esque maybe. It then goes through, you've got dance lessons, creative workshops, football tournaments, darts tournaments, trivia games, spa tours. There's lots and lots and lots happening here, but you can pause the video as I scan through that document if you want to have a more detailed look. In terms of what we're getting up to today, now, couple of things that I'll tell you about now, and then a couple of things I'll tell you about later, because what you don't want in this video is to just listen to me talking about the day for hours and hours and hours in this part. So the first couple of things that we're going to get up to, first of all, I have been invited, very kindly, which I am very excited about, to like a toast with the captain and also the officers this morning. So that's at 11:30 down in the Teodora Lounge, which is it's probably my favourite venue on here actually. It's a venue at the back of deck 5, and if you push out the back door, you've got this beautiful deck area with like garden sofas and things, and then from there you can look out onto the wake. So they always put like, I mean, obviously I like it because they put tartan blankets out, but you can sit there during the day or at night with a tartan blanket on, with a hot chocolate or a cocktail or whatever, and just be really comfy and really chilled. I love it. So yeah, that event's in that lounge at 11:30, which will be really, I'm really looking forward to that. The other things that I've circled, now, one thing that I wanted to do this year, now, as I'll have said earlier, I'm spending a lot of time on cruise ships this year, and I did want to use it as an opportunity to, I guess, try and learn some new things as well, because the risk with this is that I treat the whole year like just a holiday, and then I come out of it in December with a tan and not a lot else. So 3 p.m, I'm going to go to what they call a cultural lecture. I'm intrigued by that because it doesn't say on here if it's in English or if it's in Italian, or they might do it in multiple languages, but I'm not sure how that'll work, because to do a lecture in 2 different languages will be really difficult. So anyway, today it's the Canary Islands, essentially find out how it's gone from what it was into today's tourism paradise. That might be really interesting. So that's in one of the conference rooms downstairs, so I am looking forward to, I guess, experiencing that. And then further along that corridor, an hour later, I feel as though I have to go to this. It's a language class. Now today is, the brief here is learning a new language has never been easier. Attend language classes, Italian. So today is the first Italian language class that we've had on the cruise. My concern, to be very honest, is that my Italian couldn't be lower. It could not be lower. I think buongiorno is Italian. In fact, yes, it is Italian. I think. I hope that's not Spanish actually, but I think it's Italian. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I think ciao falls in there as well. But my Italian, honestly, is shockingly low. Now, one thing that's really annoyed me about myself so far this year is that we're spending a lot of time in European countries, whether that be Marseille in France, whether that be the various ports in Italy, whether that be even Barcelona. I have become so acutely aware that I don't speak any of these languages. And to be honest, I think I have felt over the last couple of weeks at times like a really ignorant traveller. And yeah, I'd like to try and get the real basics of a language. Yes, I'm not going to do that in a 1 hour language lesson today. Don't worry, I'm well aware. But I would really like to be able to go into a restaurant and to ask for a table for one, or to go into a bar and order a beer, or to ask someone how they're doing and understand what their response is, rather than at the moment, I just have to go in and speak English and hope for the best. So yeah, language class today. Who knows? I might finish this vlog in fluent Italian. Just watch this space. Maybe fast forward 10 minutes and see if I'm still speaking English. But yeah, that's the plan for the first couple of things that are on today. After that, it'll take us to late afternoon. And to be honest, it's going to depend weather-wise what I then get up to. It's pretty cloudy at the moment. So, you know, that might change. It might not. If it does, then great. But if it doesn't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's still warm out there. I reckon between the captain's thing and the lecture, I'll probably get up on deck, do a bit of sunbathing, and I can show you what it looks like up there during the day. But yeah, failing that, I'll come back and chat to you after one of those events, or yeah, to recap on the plan for later this afternoon. So now let's get out and about around this ship and go and see the captain.
Lo facciamo in stile italiano. Salute!
Okay, so captain's event done, and unfortunately I didn't get to meet the captain. I got closer to a cruise ship captain than I've ever got, so I got to shake hands with him. But yeah, unfortunately that was the most in-demand person I have ever seen on a ship. So yeah, there was a lot of people wanting a lot of photos, so I thought, right, okay, I'll kind of leave them to it. But you know, from an event point of view, really well done. I was on like a loyalty event with MSC on my last cruise, and it was good, but there was so many people invited to that where it just felt overwhelming. And it was in the main promenade, there was hundreds and hundreds of people. If you've seen my vlog series from World Europa, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But today was lovely because the loyalty tier that they've invited to that must be just the right level where it nicely fills a room. But yeah, before I've seen it where it's standing room only and it's a bit of a nightmare. But that was lovely. They had like a saxophone player, they had like a bartender who did basically like showing you how to make a cocktail. It was quite cool. The captain then did a speech, and then they came on and did the cheers, and everyone had a couple of drinks, which was a lovely way to start the afternoon. Now, one thing that I did say earlier, I wanted to come back and tell you about was the white party last night. So, entertainment on Costa. I really didn't know what to expect before booking this cruise, but the white party last night completely blew me away. Now, let me show you a couple of videos of what that looked like now. But essentially, what happened was they transformed the pool deck from the usual kind of indoor pool setup to that same setup but covered in white where possible. So the staircases were wrapped in white, like not ribbon, what would the word be? Like white fabric. In between the parasols and the top floor railings, there was also white fabric. And then on the stage, it was all white. There was white decorations. There was also little mini stages that were set up that were all white. And oh my goodness, everybody on this ship went for it. Unfortunately for me, I didn't bring any white. So I had like light cream trousers and a light green shirt. So it was as close to white as I was getting. But all other passengers, I kid you not, everybody was fully committed. I loved how up for it everyone was. Now, what then happened was you went up, I mean, it was late. It started at quarter... I don't have the schedule here. In fact, it started at 11:45 last night. And the first thing was ice sculpting, where basically they brought one of the, I'm assuming, one of the chefs out. He had this massive block of ice, and he somehow managed to take it from being a big, nondescript pile of frozen water into a swan. Like, how that is even possible, I will never be able to understand. But anyway, so he did some ice sculpting, and then at 11 o'clock, the white party then kicked off. And, I mean, I've seen on ships before where white parties are, like, they're quite good fun, everyone can have a laugh, a lot of people are in white, and that's kind of as far as it goes. Last night, I mean, there was fireworks, there was smoke machines, there was lasers, it was amazing. So they had like a really good DJ hooked up to the sound system up at that pool, and yeah, I mean, it was just excellent. Now, I probably hovered in there for about, what, an hour and a half, which to be fair is a lot longer than I would usually stay at one of those parties, so I really, really enjoyed it. Now, I then went and did a bit of, I guess, just walking around the ship, and I did pop back there about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was still going, and it was still really, really busy. So that's the one thing that struck me, it's taken me by surprise on this cruise, is how late the nightlife goes on until. Now, that actually doesn't impact many cabins. Where I am, I'm at the front of deck 9, and I don't get any noise here at all, despite the fact that only one deck above and along a little is where that indoor pool is, which is where the party took place. So yeah, I was really, really impressed. I also loved the fact that it's a way to have a party that's kind of outside, because the roof, I mean, the roof was partially open. I would imagine, due to the fact that there was so much smoke going off on those smoke machines, that we probably would have set the fire alarm off if that wasn't open a little bit. But yeah, white party from Costa, I am completely blown away by. So yeah, if you're coming on one of these cruises, make sure you pack white and make sure you go to the white party. But look, you can maybe see at the moment that my balcony has just got a lot of sunshine on it, actually. I was going to say a glimmer of sun, but a lot of sun. So I think the cloud is definitely beginning to burn off. I've got about an hour and a half now before my lecture session on the Canary Islands. So that hour and a half is going to be spent, I need to go and put some sun cream on, and then I'm going to go out there and enjoy a bit of sunshine for a bit. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys properly after the well, not after the lecture, after the language class, because that comes straight after it. So yeah, catch up in a bit.
Bravi con la doppia T, double T. 5.
5.
Sono 5, non 5. 5.
5.
5, bravo.
Right. They always say, or I've definitely heard anyway, that the hardest part of learning a new language is just getting started. So hopefully for my sake that's true, because nothing in the last hour has been remotely easy. I naively thought we'd be counting from 1 to 10 and saying hello and that kind of thing. But no, we started by counting from 1 to 100 and then from 100 to 1000. We then moved on to months of the year. We then moved on to, I don't think my fluency is going to happen on this cruise, so I'm not sure who I was kidding on that one. But anyway, I am now heading upstairs because I want to take you guys to a venue that I've heard is really, really good, but I haven't had time to try it yet, so I will see you guys in the Pizzeria down on deck 5. Okay, so what I've decided to do before dinner tonight is come down and try the pizza on board. Now, when you're on a Costa ship, I actually thought that pizza would just be an everyday staple that would be available everywhere, but unfortunately it's actually considered to be a speciality on here. So you can get other Italian food, for example pasta, all the time up in the buffet, but if you want pizza then you have to come to this venue here, which is like a bespoke pizzeria. Now price wise it actually really isn't bad at all, so if you're a member of the Costa Club, which I always say to everyone, if you're going on a cruise, make sure you join the loyalty programme. Now as part of that, you will always get a couple of euros off. So I think the basic pizzas go from €9 up to kind of €15. But if you're a member of the club, you'll get the basic one for €6.75. It'll then upgrade, and every price point as a member, you'll get a couple of euros off. So definitely a big win from me. Now, I was on here, I've been on now 4 days I think, and almost every day someone has told me how good it is in here, so I am very excited to see. Apparently, it's just all wood fired. I can see the ovens behind me at the moment. I will come back in here later and give you a bit of a tour of this venue. It's just a little bit too busy to do it at the moment. But yeah, let me sign out here and I'll show you what the pizza looks like when it arrives at the table. Okay, so I think that we can definitely agree that learning a new language is probably not my forte. I will go, we've got another sea day and I think we've got a port day where I'm not entirely sure if I'll get off yet, so if that's the case I might as well go to lesson number 2 and let's keep pushing this train now that it's left the station, and let's see where we end up by the end of all of my trips this year. Yeah, I think today I'm not promising that I'll be able to even count, but hey, who knows. Now, pizza on here, oh my goodness, massive thumbs up from me. I was a little bit disappointed initially when I found out that it wasn't free, because usually on a lot of other cruise lines the pizza is included in the fare. However, the thing that I think they win themselves over with here is that although you pay extra for it, A, you don't pay a lot, and B, they do make a whole experience out of it. So I would be disappointed if you were paying extra for it and you were eating it in the buffet. But the fact that you pay, I mean in my case, it was like €8 I think, so literally nothing. You're paying €8 for a full pizza, and it's in its own pizzeria. You can watch it getting made, you can actually look at it coming out of the oven. It's such a good experience to get for such a low price on a ship. So yeah, so cost aside for a minute, the taste of it is brilliant. If you've seen my vlog from Naples very, very recently, then you will know that I queued for hours. I can't even think about it properly yet. I queued for literally hours to get a pizza because I'd heard it was one of the best in the city. Now, the one on here today, honestly, that was so good. Like, really, really impressed. So yeah, if you are on here wondering what the more informal speciality options are like on a Costa ship, then take it from me, that tasted absolutely brilliant. But yeah, so what is going on around the ship now? To be honest, I'm back to change into my swimming shorts because I've got like dressy shorts on from that captain's thing earlier, and I would just like an hour by the pool. It's 4 o'clock right now. No, it's 5 o'clock. No, it's 5 o'clock right now. I would like an hour by the pool before I then go for dinner at 6:30. So yeah, I'll take you up and show you what the top deck looks like on what probably will be quite a busy sea day up there. The clouds come back again, which is really annoying, but it's still like 25, 26 degrees, so it's lovely out there. Now, if you wanted to spend more time out and about around the ship, right now, you could be going to, now bear in mind, what, 4:30, 5 o'clock, usually a lot of ships kind of die off. They get really quiet before dinner because people are away getting ready and there's maybe sometimes not that much to do. On here, you could be at a dance lesson, you could be at group dancing in another venue, you could be at bingo elsewhere, you could be doing aerobics, you could be at a wine tasting, you could be at acoustic music. There's a lot happening here, right? So yeah, I'm going to go chill out on the top deck because I haven't really been able to do that much of that today. I know, first world problem. I'll say it before you do. But yeah, let's head up to the top deck. I'll show you what it looks like up there, and then I will catch up with you again, probably back in here, just before we head out for a bite to eat tonight at dinner. Brilliant. So we'll get changed and head up. Okay, so job done. Now the last hour has just completely escaped me. I really enjoy that when you have a day at sea, you're buzzing around the ship all day, and then you finally have time to just sit down and do nothing, and it just goes like that, and it just totally, it seems like it disappears. I really, really like that. I've had an hour of just lying up on the top deck by that pool, yeah, just chilling, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, tonight is gala night on the ship, so I've come back to the room. I'm now changed and ready to head back out. Now, you might notice that I look a bit more casual than what you may expect for a gala night, and if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that usually for gala night or formal night, whatever you want to call it, I'll usually wear like a bow tie with a waistcoat type setup. Now, unfortunately for me, my white shirt that I would normally wear that with, I mean, I'll be honest, I forgot to unpack it, so it's currently in a ball in my suitcase under the bed. So I tried to bring it out, and yeah, no amount of this. I was told that this stuff would be an absolute miracle, so this is called crease releaser, which basically you spray it on something, then you pull out the creases, and it fixes it. Now, it turns out that works if you've got like, yeah, 1 or 2 sprays and then quickly kind of pull it out after it's come out the dryer. When it's been in the bottom of a suitcase for the best part of a week and you've heaved it from a hotel onto a ship and so on and so forth, this doesn't do that much use. So I'm going to give it a good spray tonight and try and pull what I can out of it without the amount of pulling I'm going to have to do. I worry I'm going to rip it in two. But yeah, that, let's just think about that tomorrow because it's not worth worrying about tonight. So I will have one wet shirt hanging in that wardrobe tomorrow night, so let's see what happens. Now, in terms of the plan for tonight, I'm really looking forward to tonight, actually. So, first up is dinner in the main dining room, which, as you know, I have really enjoyed every night this week so far, so hopefully that continues. After that, the live show tonight is called Seasons of Love. So it says pirouettes and evolutions of a couple of exceptional acrobats. Don't miss the show. So I think that actually will be really good. So I'm going to do dinner at 6:30, which is, well, let's not go into the time now because I really should be in the dining room. But I'm going to do the show after dinner. So that's 6:30. We'll leave there at 8:30. The show is 9:15. So to be honest, I'll probably from there just go straight to the theatre to try and get a really good seat. Now, the only thing that's throwing it at the moment, I think I'll probably have to kind of scissor it in the middle, is tonight is what they call the officers' grand ball. So in the kind of main ballroom on the ship, which for a start, actually, it surprised me that this ship has a ballroom. It feels very traditional for what is a really big ship. But in there, they've got the ship's officers go down tonight, so probably go in there and have a look and see what's going on. Other than that, it'll just be, so that show will come out about 10 o'clock, and to be honest, I'm probably going to think about turning in at that point. So look, I will take you out and about and around the ship. I may then voice over those videos, but this will probably be the final time that I'll actually speak to you today. So I really hope that you are enjoying seeing what life on board a Costa ship is like. Because, yeah, I had no idea what to expect from the Costa product before coming on this cruise. So this has been so interesting for me to see, and I really hope that you're taking away a lot from it as well. Now, tomorrow morning we dock in Arrecife, which is the port in Lanzarote, and the following day we dock in Tenerife, which is Santa Cruz de Tenerife, so I think that's the north of the island. Now, my next episode will actually be a combination of both of them, because A, I've been to them before, and B, tomorrow will just be quite a short day ashore, because I'm going to look at some different room types so that I can show you in another video what all the different rooms are like on this ship. So they've said that tomorrow I can get into an inside cabin, an ocean view cabin, and also some kind of suite cabin. So really looking forward to seeing them, and also showing you on the channel what all the different grades of cabin look like on Costa Diadema. But look, as I said earlier, I need to shoot now because I have to get down to the dining room. But yeah, thanks very much for following along, and I will speak to all of you in the next episode, which will be in Lanzarote and also Tenerife. Brilliant. Good night, guys. Thank you. Bye.